All right, ready for another deep dive.
Do it.
We are tackling chapter 18 of The Only One today. And let me tell you,
Oh, it's a big one.
it is juicy. It picks up right where we left off.
Yeah, all those antics at the barbecue.
Oh, man. Those 5 cups Sheng Wang drank. Yeah, they are back to haunt him.
Eek.
Big time.
The regret is real.
And it's not even just the hangover, though. I mean, that's definitely a factor.
Oh, for sure. Like the author just bottled up that feeling of waking up with a regret hangover.
The worst.
Then it's even worse, right? Because Sheng Wang can't even remember everything he said to Jiang Tian the night before.
Exactly.
Oh, much cringe.
Oh, he just wants to disappear,
Oh, 100%.
Crawl right back under the covers. But just as he's about to make a run for it to school early.
Trying to avoid everyone and everything.
Oh, totally. Avoid, avoid, avoid.
Yeah.
Thinking he can dodge everyone.
Yep.
Guess who shows up?
Oh, it had to be Jiang Tian, didn't it?
Of course.
Of course. The timing is just too perfect.
It's like the universe just loves to see Sheng Wang squirm a little bit.
Pile of karma, maybe.
Right. And, okay, so not only is Jiang Tian up early, but then Jiang A insists that they all go to school together.
Oh, no. Talk about an awkward car ride.
Right. You can just feel the tension.
It's thick.
And I think what I find so interesting about this is that Jiang A, she's really trying,
She is.
she's trying to establish this new normal.
This happy family image.
Yes.
But I don't know. It's almost like she's trying a little too hard.
Yeah.
Like forcing closeness when maybe it's not.
A little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, meanwhile, we get Sheng Wang's inner monologue.
Oh, the best.
And it's just priceless.
It's so good.
He's basically thinking, like, if I don't make eye contact, maybe, just maybe I can survive this car ride.
Avoidance tactic #1.
Classic.
If I can't see them, they can't see me.
Exactly.
Right.
But speaking of awkward situations,
Oh, boy.
let's talk about Yang Jing for a second.
Okay, yeah.
Because remember how we talked about a showdown? This is where it all goes down.
The classroom.
In English class. And Yang Jing,
She's something else.
she is a force.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Sheng Wang, though.
I know, right?
His hangover. Least of his worries.
Small potatoes.
Because he completely forgot about the homework.
Oh, no, not the homework.
And this is where I think the author does such a good job of really highlighting just how intense and cutthroat this school is.
Super competitive.
Because Yang Jing isn't messing around.
This isn't just like, oh, where's your homework?
yeah.
This is serious business.
This is a statement
about expectations, work ethic.
about what happens when you fail.
Exactly.
And boy, does she lay down the law.
Oh, yeah. She lets them have it.
She literally says, and I'm quoting here, if you can't even feel disgusted with yourselves for not doing well in English while excelling in math and science, you should all be ashamed.
Mic drop.
You can feel the fear
Help.
in the room.
Hmm?
And then, of course, Yang Jing gets to Sheng Wang's desk.
Oh, no.
Blank page.
Oh, no. The walk of shame.
Yes, and she is not having it.
Oh,
She's like, you're not doing the work. It's a slap in the face to me.
sure.
It makes him go stand outside.
With his blank paper.
With his blank paper. You could cut the tension with a knife.
So awkward.
And just when you think it can't get more awkward,
It gets worse.
Jiang Tian does something totally unexpected.
What's he do?
He stands up,
No way.
grabs his blank English homework,
He didn't.
and joins Sheng Wang outside.
I am speechless. The whole class is speechless, probably.
The entire class is speechless. It's like, talk about a power move.
Right. I mean, what a way to show solidarity.
Right. And it's such a small gesture, but it speaks volumes.
Totally. Like, what do you think is going through his head in that moment?
I don't know, because on one hand, this is Jiang Tian, right?
This is the same guy who, purposely bombed that test to get back at Sheng Wang for, whatever he thought Sheng Wang did.
Exact.
So, part of me thinks maybe he's getting some kind of, twisted revenge.
Right. Like, oh yeah, remember how you got me in trouble? Well, now look at us.
Exactly. But, at the same time,
Yeah.
he just feels different this time,
It does.
He didn't have to do that.
He really didn't.
He could have just stayed silent, maybe even enjoyed seeing Sheng Wang get chewed out a little.
Totally.
But he didn't. Instead, he chooses to stand with him.
And publicly. In that moment, they're both in it together.
100%. And I think that's what makes this such a turning point in their relationship.
It totally is. Because up until this point, it's been very much, them against each other.
Very competitive.
Yes. But this this feels different.
Totally. And it throws everyone else off, too.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the chapter ends with the whole grade gossiping about their terrible relationship.
Right, which is so funny to me because we as readers,
You know better.
we know it's so much more complicated than that.
Oh, so much more. And that's what I love about this ending. Because it's not tied up neatly with a bow.
No.
Like, the author leaves us with this, like, delicious ambiguity.
Yes.
You know, this feeling that things are, like, shifting beneath the surface.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
right.
everyone else is stuck on this surface level, you know?
Totally. Like, looking at their terrible relationship and thinking, like, oh, those two are always at each other's throats.
Right, exactly.
But we're seeing something else entirely.
We are. And I don't know if it's intentional on the author's part, but I kind of feel like this whole terrible relationship label,
Yeah.
it's almost like a shield.
Interesting. How so?
Well, because it's like, on the one hand, everyone at school is so busy gossiping about how much they can't stand each other
Right.
that no one's really paying attention to the fact that
Maybe they're not actually enemies.
exactly, like, what if this is the start of something totally different for them?
That's a good point. And it makes you think, like, what happens when that shield comes down? When everyone realizes that maybe they had it all wrong?
Yes.
Will Sheng Wang and Jiang Tian just go back to how things were before?
Or will they embrace this, whatever this is?
Exactly. It's like the author's setting up this really interesting dynamic where, like, their public personas and their private selves are on a collision course.
Yes. And the reader's along for the ride.
Buckle up. I have a feeling things are about to get really interesting.
I know. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
I agree.
But for our listeners out there,
Yeah.
pay attention to the little things in the next couple of chapters, the glances,
That's shared moments?
because I have a feeling the author is dropping some major hints about where this is all headed.
It's going to be good.
So good. Until next time.
See you then.